to our 2024 edition of Drive Chat. This particular series is now focusing on our Fleet Safety Awards, and we're going to use the opportunity to have a chat with Justin, who's from Webfleet, one of our headline partners. So, Justin, please join us.
Good morning, Eugene.
Listen, thank you for joining us. Maybe just a brief intro. This may be the first time some of our viewers are seeing you, and therefore just tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Justin Manson. I look after the Webfleet business for Middle East Africa. What we do is we are a specialized fleet management business. One of our primary responsibilities is to work with our customers around fleet safety and around road safety.
Okay, good, thank you. You were with us last year. Now, you decided to become one of our headline partners. What motivated the decision to up the ante, as it were?
Well, Eugene, I think there were two reasons. The one was a fairly selfish reason. We've seen some pretty phenomenal growth with the Fleet Safety Awards over the last two events. From a marketing perspective, from a brand awareness perspective, it made sense that we up the ante. But it's as much as that is a selfish reason, it also falls in line with what we do as a business in terms of promoting fleet safety, in terms of promoting road safety. Road safety and fleet safety is a fundamental part of our solution. It is what we do on a day-to-day basis. So it makes sense. We need to align ourselves with other organizations that have got the same mindset, that are thinking along the same lines. So it made perfect sense for us to increase our presence at the Fleet Safety Awards.
Thank you. I was hoping you're going to say increase the number of presents you give us, but clearly as a headline partner, your presence at this point is excellent. Just if I can recap some of the numbers. Year one, we started out, and remember, it was really during COVID, didn't anticipate or know what it was going to turn out like. We had 101 participants. Last year, we were up at 250. This year, we're aiming for 400. So my question to you, having seen this growth, and you motivated one of the reasons why you're here, what do you anticipate for 2024? What do you think we can look forward to collectively?
I mean, I think if we look at the growth from the first two, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be above that 400 to probably 600 mark in terms of participants. I also do think that, and I'm hoping that there'll be a lot more people being involved that are not necessarily participating, but that are getting involved as businesses that supply or that work next to or in line with the fleet industry. For me, I think that the more organizations that we can get involved in these sorts of things, the stronger the conversation then starts, or the stronger the conversation around fleet safety starts becoming. So, I really do think that we're going to see a marked increase in the number of participants, and I'm really hoping that we're going to get a lot more organizations who are not necessarily participating, but they want to be aligned with fleet safety, they want to be aligned with road safety, and they want to start conversations with all that are involved.
And thank you for highlighting that, because that kind of moves us to the next point. But just before we touch on that, this is, and let me use the word, it's a non-political event. This has not got to do necessarily about organizations, and as you'll notice, they're not there to sell themselves, but they're rather there to be part of a bigger initiative, and that means reducing the fatalities on our roads. And I'm sure that if we look at the stats, the UN mandate for reducing fatalities by 50% is only 6 years away. And so for every bit of help is needed. And that brings me to the next point. Do you think, or how is it that other organizations who are not part of this could possibly see the benefits of joining so as to identify best practice standards that they could possibly implement?
Well, I mean, I think fleet safety, road safety should be on the top of everybody's minds. Reality is, Eugene, you use the roads on a day-to-day basis. I use the roads, my team, your team, our family members, we all on the roads constantly. So and that goes, the same goes for my customers. My customers who are involved with this event, as well as those who aren't involved with the event. So I think, by getting more people involved, we start widening the conversation, or we start widening the audience that is having the conversation around fleet and road safety. But not just that, you get a lot more people who then start discussing best practices. And any discussion about best practice is going to have some form of benefit. It really and truly is. I did an interview a few days ago where one of the conversations was around how important it is for the operational side of a fleet business, so the control room side, to have a good open communication channel with drivers. And that is one of those best practices that you might not think is very important, but it's critically important. If the control room is treating the drivers with respect and got open two-way communication, understanding that if they don't have that open communication, what kind of stress it adds to the drivers, etc., as soon as we start having those conversations, and that's one small best practice that we can start sharing around, how is it that we improve the relationship between drivers and the control room? Suddenly you start making a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4% improvement in fleet and road safety.
Yeah, I'm glad that you highlighted that, because whilst this focus is primarily on safety, but the fact is a safer driver is a more efficient driver typically, and an efficient driver contributes toward not only the reduction in the cost of fuel, but think about it from a sustainability point of view. And I do trust that organizations, and this is kind of my next question to you, is what message would you send to other organizations who may not think that they qualify because of their standards? What message would you tell them about entering? Because remember, there's about 150,000 rands worth of prizes up for grabs, of which the main prize for the fleet safety manager is going to be about 50K. So, what's the message that you could encourage those who may not be there as yet?
I mean, I think every organization needs a starting point to benchmark themselves against. So if there's anybody out there who is, Fleet Safety Awards, wow, this is quite a prestigious thing. Obviously, the guys who are entering are top notch, and they've got all their ducks in a row, and they've got processes in place, and whatever the case may be. That might very well be for some of the top contenders. However, everybody needs a benchmarking point. So I think by more people entering, they might not, there might be organizations there who don't necessarily have all the processes and procedures in place, but by entering, you can then suddenly start seeing what are other organizations doing. So we come back to the best practice conversation. So I think, if I was running a fleet business, I would really want an event like this for me to be able to gauge, first of all, where am I versus the best in the industry, and what do I need to improve to get up to that same level as the best in the industry.
Thank you. Just before I leave you or ask you for your parting message, our view is that fleet managers are probably one of the most least appreciated individuals in an organization, because they advocate such things as wearing a seatbelt, don't use your cell phone while you're driving, and things like that. And as a result, they're not particularly well liked. And our view was that for those guys who are carrying the flag, irrespective of the opposition that they get, and in some instances, lack of support from management, we would like to reward them. So thank you for being part of this opportunity, not only to improve road safety, but also to recognize excellence within organizations. So any take-home message that you'd like to leave before we say goodbye?
No, I mean, I would just like to, Eugene, once again, thank yourself and your team and the whole MasterDrive team for allowing us the opportunity. I think what you guys do from a fleet safety perspective, from a road safety perspective in general, is really good, and I just really think more of us should be doing this. More of us should be having these conversations. And yeah, I think what you guys are doing is really, really wonderful. And once again, thanks for the opportunity. We're really, really looking forward to the event.
That was Justin from Webfleet. We have the opportunity of being able to converse with some of our partners. There will be more. So with that kind note, we'd like to say thank you very much to Justin for joining us. And please remember, entries are open. The awards will take place at Automechanica in November at the Automechanica show. And there's some other special things that we have highlighted for the occasion. And we do trust that you may be a worthy participant and possibly even a winner. So with that, we'd like to say goodbye until next time.